I have another math problem that I need your help with. See all these plants around me? Some of them, especially if you're from my classroom, you might recognize, like this one, and our little dinosaur, and this succulent right here. And some of these plants are plants that Blake and I always have in the house. In fact, these aren't all of our plants. We love being surrounded by them, and Blake works really hard to take care of them. It's a good thing that Blake is in charge of taking care of the plants in our house, because some of you might remember that I am notorious for killing plants. In fact, remember Evelyn even brought me a plastic plant because she knew it was one that I couldn't kill? Anyways, Blake's a lot more careful than I am, and he keeps a watering schedule for every plant, and he gives it a specific amount of water every week. Here, I'll show you. So I'm no plant expert. I just call this one the tall plant, and it needs about a half a gallon of water. This plant, our bamboo, needs 19 ounces of water. The little guy on the left, I think it's called a Haworthia, needs 6 ounces. And then the little dinosaur plant just needs 3 ounces of water. I don't know if Haworthia is right, guys. This one, I call it the seaweed plant. It needs 8 ounces of water. Another Haworthia, maybe, with little pokey spines. It also needs 6 ounces. And this is kind of a mishmash of plants in a lovely little planter. Blake puts 18 ounces of water in this plant. Then we've got our moon cactus. It doesn't need much, just 4 ounces of water. And then this big bruiser, it's a philodendron. It needs 1.5 gallons of water. Oh, yeah, and then this was a cane yucca, actually the third one that's died. It needs zip, nada, nothing. Okay, so that's a lot of plants to keep track of, but Blake does a really nice job, and most of them have stayed alive. And he actually got some really good advice from my mom, who really has a green thumb. She said that it would really help these plants if he gave them some plant food mixed in with the water. So he bought a bottle, and here are the instructions that he saw on the back. Did you catch that? 1 gallon of water needs 1 teaspoon of plant food. But the thing is, Blake doesn't know how many gallons of water he's using. He just does one plant at a time with the amount that each plant needs. But for this plant food, he needs to have the total amount, mix in his plant food, and then water each little plant. That's a lot of work, and he's already working so hard. I was wondering if maybe you could help him out, and you could go ahead and add up all of the amounts that I showed you, the ounces, the gallons, the half gallons, and figure out the total amount of gallons that Blake is using. It might get kind of tricky to keep track, so if I were you, I would use some kind of model, maybe, I don't know, a number line, to help you stay on track as you add up these different amounts. Another thing that you're going to need to know is how many ounces there are in a gallon, because you can't add ounces and gallons together. You need to know the conversion. So 1 gallon has 128 ounces. Once you've solved this, make sure that you go to our Google Classroom and post your solution. You should be making sure to use a visual model to help you keep track of how you're solving it and to help you catch any mistakes. You should be thinking about what you can do to be efficient and how you'll explain your answer for others to understand it. I'll be putting up the code for the Google Classroom on the next slide. I can't wait to see what you come up with, and I'm sure Blake will be really grateful too.